goes for my landlord's daughter, so we know Hannah quite well. But I did not expect to see London Grammar in this list. So I spoke to the manager the next day and said, what's all that all about? He wouldn't normally have been listening to London Grammar. But then they changed the listing. The Sunday Times changed his listing and put their own tracks in that were being featured on Spotify. And they didn't ask. So we are currently in correspondence with the Times, because they were clearly using this person's coolness and, you know, kind of general fact that they were known for a certain type of music to promote other artists, which he wasn't doing. So you can never even trust anything that's in the Times. What is the law coming to? Yeah.
I've got a question. I'm much like a theatre person, so it's been really interesting hearing you talk about music. But have you ever been in a position as like well, your manager and stuff, and you know that you can make money out of this artist because they're not clued up about the situation, and have you ever been unethical, or have you just gone, okay, one of the sides? I know it's a personal question. Would you? How? I can't think of other words.
No, I know what you're saying.
Like, because I've seen stuff now when I know certain people are going to get ripped off in the contracts and stuff like that, but they're just going for the art. So as a manager, what would you do? Would you be? I'm asking you, like, what's your ethics around that? Would you let someone get robbed, or would you take the money?
Because I've always been an artist's lawyer, always, for my philosophy goes right the way through. You cut me down the middle and you'll find art is oddities down the middle.
Yeah.
My job, if you like, but also my passion is to prevent them from being unethically treated. I beg some of my clients not to sign particular deals because I know they're in-house. I am known to be very blunt, so if I think somebody is ripping someone off, I will say so. I lose clients regularly because I tell them what I think of their behaviour and things like that. I also sack clients regularly because I think they are misbehaving. One of the joys of working for yourself, you can sack people. There is a lot more consumer awareness than there ever used to be. So the chances of younger artists being taken for a ride are less than they used to be, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen. And the area where it is currently happening is in production deals. And a lot of artists coming out of courses like the performance courses here, the first deals they get offered when they leave are production deals. And generally speaking, the people behind production deals are probably quite inexperienced, and they may not be necessarily deliberately ripping off, but they don't know themselves. But if you're an artist and you're desperate for that kind of break, that chance, the temptation is that you take these deals because they're the only people that are showing you interest at a particular point in time. And whilst I might advise against doing these deals, I could also see that sometimes you need to do something like this, even if it isn't the most brilliant deal in the world, because you've got to get that first step on the ladder. So as long as my clients go into it with their eyes wide open as to the possible downsides of it, they are grown-ups, they are adults. If they choose then to do that deal, it is up to them. But if I found that one of my managers was ripping off one of the artists, they'd be out the door in seconds. Makes me sound like a saint, doesn't it? Any other questions? Very personal. The other area of which you may find a nice sideline in making money in business is from library music. Now, if any of you are managers of writers who write so much stuff they don't know what the hell to do with it, and most of it they don't want to record themselves, libraries is the answer for you. Everyone and his wife is setting up a library. And it's part of this growth of the wish to use music in all forms of visuals all over the place, right? If you've got a piece of music that fits very nicely into the backdrop to to a scene. It's not a commercial track, it's not one you want to record yourself, but it has that kind of generic sort of, you know, it sounds like a kind of happy samba beat that you just want to kind of put behind a sort of South American holiday trailer. They go to the libraries for those pieces of music. And I have clients who just give their music to libraries. It's not stuff that they have any emotional attachment to whatsoever. They just pick some music that they churned out that sound a bit like an Adele, sound a bit like, you know, a classic kind of reggae track, right? They give them to the libraries, and what the libraries then do is they offer them to TV production companies, to film companies, as a way of getting a cheap source of music. Cheaper than going and doing a synchronization license for a well-known reggae track, for example. The libraries take 50% of the income, which is high, but if it's throwaway music that's otherwise just sitting somewhere not being used, they never want exclusive rights to your songs. They're always non-exclusive type arrangements. You just give them whatever pieces of library you want to give them, and you might get 50% of your income back from it. So library music is worth looking at. Again, audio networks is one of the big ones. Most of the TV channels have their own libraries. Sky, for example, has a library, and you don't have to have had music on a Sky program in order to go in the Sky library. But if you're in the Sky library and there's another Sky TV production coming along, they will probably go to their own library to get the music from it. So it's worth having a look at. It's a small niche market, but it's one that is growing in interest. I think partly in answer to the fact that the licenses for well-known tracks are going up and up and up in cost. So if you've got a very low budget for your TV production and you want to get some generic sounding music in the backdrop, you'll go to a library. Now, final session, and then I can let you all go. Branding and sponsorship. I suppose we're coming full circle on this, back to our 360 that we started with a lifetime ago. Artist as brand is probably been around forever. Elvis Presley was a brand. Robbie Williams is a brand. Adele is a brand. But what changed about 10 years ago is that you deliberately set out to make an artist a brand. It wasn't something that they grew into because they were major successful. You actually started off thinking of an artist not just as a recording and performing artist, but in the round. Well, maybe it's probably more than 10 years if I think about it, because I think the Spice Girls was the first one that really, really, really worked this. I even used a Spice Girl lyric there. Their manager was Simon Fuller, who is behind 19 Entertainment, who mega TV mogul, but his background is in promotion. I've known Simon since he was 19, and at the age of 19 he said, I will be a millionaire by the time I'm 30. We were playing Temple Bowling at the time. I went, yeah, right, Simon. He was a junior marketing man at that point. But he had a vision. He could see that if he got the right artists and marketed them correctly, they could be so much more than just artists. And believe me, he was a multi-millionaire by the time he was 30. And he doesn't play Temple Bowling with me anymore. So, there you go. But he saw that you could position an artist to be able to sell other products. I think the genius, however, was in not overselling that, because you can easily see how you could completely sell out an artist. Now, I think he got close when he actually put the Spice Girls on duvet covers. I think he was kind of slightly into the market of almost overkill at that point, right? And some of the Little Mix dolls, now that probably is going a little too far, but you can see that if you have a kind of, I'm not saying sell out here, don't get me wrong, some of them do sell out, right? And you'll get One Direction, whatever, anything you can think of will have branded One Direction, right? What I'm saying is that if you see your artist solely as a record selling person, you are doing both your artist and yourself a disservice. Because music drives so much else. Music is, that phrase, it's the soundtrack of your life, right? A particular piece of music will take you straight back to where you were and who you were with at a particular moment in your life. And advertisers love that. It gives them an in to that demographic. If they want to aim at the 12 to the 18-year-old market, they will use music that appeals to that 12 to 18-year-old market, right? So if you are not marketing that, you are going to be limiting the areas in which your artist can earn money. If you chose to do that, I am not going to stop you. You are going to have some artists that are never, ever going to be suitable to front a brand. I mean, I can think of some of the slash metal bands who you really would never want to have associated with the brand, apart possibly from those little devil horns and maybe some lagers, right? So it is probably more geared towards the commercial artist, but even artists, you know, U2 did a tie-in with iPhone a few years ago. It was the only time they'd ever done in their 40-year career or whatever, and we were all going, ooh, weird, sellout. But actually, they did it with a black phone only, and it was for a limited release, so they were trying to manage it quite carefully, right? So I'm saying, don't do sellout.